in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. In the Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back with match 12 of the tournament. We have 3-1 versus Obi-Val. Obi-Val had won the coin toss, so he went with Warfare 11 Remix. The one's just named Warfare 11 currently, as we've been over multiple times now here. He has gone with SS, and 3-1 has gone with Red Army. I really don't feel like Red Army is the right pick for this map, but it can be done. Red Army tends to excel on the more uneven maps, and while Warfare 11 has some of that, it's not the most. Definitely plenty of ranges to make use of STGs, snipers, and G42s. We'll go ahead and see how they open. I assume we're going to see a continuation of the SS meta of spamming the Das Reich, and probably the 2cm on open. Storm Grenadiers as well, pretty much as expected. And 3-1 is going assault rifles. Or should I say assault rifle squad? They don't have assault rifles, obviously. Make sure my volume is turned all the way up. So we have 3-1 buying single buy Marines, Marine machine gun I should say, sending most of the squad over to the south end and the rest of it over to the northwest end. Lots of single buys out. Sky going very heavy on the northern end. Sending the entire squad and that couple of single buys that way. Plus the rest of the additional single buys are going off to the southeast end. Has allowed 3-1 to get a full secure on the southeast end. I imagine he's going to pay for it in casualties over here, although he does get to catch him on this ridge. Grenade micro has already ensued. Storming grenades being weak as per usual. Guy on top of his micro here. Not sure where that guy decided to look. Not the right direction though, I can say that. Actually seeing a back cap push already. power of the Marines outcapping the singular SSSTG. Val has realized it's going to throw a grenade. So there's the supporting Marine squad, and he gets taken down. Lucky shot there. Seeing Iberic Jaeger CQC as well as the SP squad out. The SP Grenadiers. They have the heavy rifle grenades. Charge out. Oh no, not charge. Just more assault rifles. And then we're seeing the 2 centimeter out. Points are actually even entirely at this point, pretty much. 2-1 has better nominal control of the map, but nothing is certain as of yet. Actually, that was big over here. The Storm Grenadier sniper did go down. Actually, no, he just moved over here. It's probably the wiser choice. He wasn't going to be able to get good angles unless he had rotated all the way around, and he had not secured that yet. Seeing multiple more assault rifles and the charge now out. One, however, does not have an AT rifle or anything on the field at the moment, so this 2 centimeter is probably just going to clean house. Assuming, of course, Obival is not going to forget about it. We are seeing AT rifle single buy out. The AT detachment is out in 30 seconds. Strike is out as well, moving over to the other flank. And the middle has also now been secured. One Congo lining in the middle. It's resecured northwest end, but how much of an impact it will have, I'm not sure. Now that he is going to lose the other 2 flanks. Looks like he bought a second AT rifle, sending it over to the same side, interestingly enough. That's right now unloading. Already with a preparatory AT rifle. Another charge out with a Gaz AA. Gaz AA is going to immediately die to 2 centimeter unless he stays at very max range. As far as SP spent, we're actually out ahead for Opie. No, Opie's down 1. Opie is down 1 because he bought the SP Grenadiers as well. It's currently 13 versus 14. 2 centimeter now moving to go engage the Gaz AA. Gaz AA is moving forward. It is going to pay the price. He does not see the 2 centimeter. He should know it's there though. Sneaky little cannon. Does decrew it. That is crazy. He needs to put the AT rifle on engaging it and break it up. Sky hasn't realized it's gone down yet. Needs to get out of the arc of the half track because of that exact issue. Does pull the Gaz AA back, luckily. He got very lucky there. I would like to see some shock SMGs here in the middle. Going to be able to outtrade most things. More Storm Grenadiers out from Sky. 2 centimeter has been rearmed. And we've seen Stalin's Gamble now out. So we're seeing 2 T60 and T70 on the field. Leaves him just 2 SP if he wants to get the BS3 as well, or he can bank for the ISU. It depends on how long he's looking for the game to go. This guy moving in with smoke, try and get into the objective by the looks of it. Now trying to work in the middle. Kusami are now used to break up the positions over here on the south end. Really needs to be sending his T-74. T-70 outranges and for the most part is immune to the Kusami at max range. So this needs to be moving up. Gauge that. Eze is lucky it didn't eat a grenade pushing in so close. Does he see the Kusami? He does. He's engaging it. Looks like Sky may... Yeah, Sky is trying to run with it. Needs to take out half track then. And it will be broken. Misses. Could have at least one more shot. Hits the guy in front of it instead. Panzerfaust is incoming though. Needs to be backing up and aware of this. Infantry are very quickly dying off over here. AT Rifle Grenadiers are also moving forward. I don't think this T-70 is long for its world, and that will be a painful loss when it does occur. T-60 sitting over here doing nothing, no impact. Panzerfaust misses. Not sure what Obival is banking his additional SP on, because he spent, like I said, the 2 on the Rifle Grenadier, the 3 on the Das Reich, and then 2 on the 2 centimeter. Puts him at 13. Hetzer's being 7, I believe. And the Ace, Tiger, and Panther being too much. Regardless of whatever buy he is going for, he should almost certainly be able to get another Das Reich. This flamethrower should have been in middle, but that's fine. Smoke and grenades would have worked fine here. Rifle Grenadiers doing Rifle Grenadiers things. Each one is allowing him to capture some of these points. And the wide flank coming around on the northwest end from Sky. Truly enough, Bierjäger CQC being sent in. Going to smoke off the point and take that as well, leaving 2-1 with only 1 point. 3 officers versus 2 officers currently in favor of 2-1. 2-1 is currently sitting below the 40 CP threshold. Needs to start making some plays here. This 260 should have been put into effect way earlier. Its armor is semi-resistant to the BZB. Sky trying to smoke off his direct control attack with the AT rifle. more Stern Grenadiers, and you bears your CQC now out. The 4th platoon rolling in from 321. Two of them moving on to this flank. Actually sent all 3 of them now over to that flank. I was looking to just straight up overwhelm him with the tanks, along with a charge having been bought as well. This is a big investment. 321 really needs to make it pay off. But 2 Summer is still alive. There is another DOS right back there as well. 2 Summer is being deployed. T-70 has to be careful, especially if he shows side. Penetration, main gun destroyed. That's brutal. Down goes track as well. 70 should not have been the one pushed so far forward. I have no idea what just broke the track on this T-34. It must have been a ricochet off of the T-70. Guy now pushing forward. It was pushing forward the Panzer DOS no longer. This T-70's gone full dumb. I'm desperately trying to kill off of that 2cm. This T-34 should be pushed up over here somewhere. T-70 does go down with a Panzerfaust. It needs to be repairing this track. And of course, the counter dual Hetzer. And now 321 has nothing to deal with that. Not on the field and not available for SP. It's going to be rough. A gun still has not died. Gun's broken, but it's been decrewed. But those Hetzers are not long from being here. At this point, you probably keep one T-34 back here and pull the other 2 back into the center. That way he can't push you without getting side shot. Get them back here somewhere. He does see the Hetzers. This one is, of course, dead no matter what, since it's tracked. Needs to have the 3rd T-34 in position. Sorta is. Now, this does put these Hetzers in a little bit of a difficult position, because they're not going to be able to get around, but at the same time, they're going to be able to put supporting fire along into here, and that will let him get Panzerfaust forward. So the C-34s can't be anywhere within about 45 meters without dying. He needs to keep a strong infantry presence on this hill. Puts off a half-track. Honestly, in some ways, we'd kind of like to see an AT gun snuck around up this front. Even something cheap, like M42, only being 150 MP, would be able to side shot those Hetzers. Alternatively, he could go with a BT5. BT5 rush straight up through here if he keeps off the Panzerfaust. Also easily take them out. Middle is being secured, however, by Sky. 5 officers out on both sides already. We're likely going to be in for a longer game. This is bold to be undertaking this, even though he has much better cover. But yeah. 2 versus 1, and just a simple fact that he's more likely to die than those Hetzers by far. Now he's reduced to just 1 T-34. So it, again, just does not really have a good option for this. You can try with the 52K, but it's not going to be reliable. Guy is kind of clearing this hill on out. One is going to have to get very sketchy if he wants to try and pull this back at this point. I believe Sky might still have 3 SP left. We'll probably just pick up the snipers and try to walk forward this side, basically, against the opposing wall of snipers, of course, but it's the best option. And Faust runs forward, beats T-34. Hetzer is moving to look for a shot on it. One is not paying enough attention. Realize that he has a black invisibility from this angle. One has now lost all of the middle points. Hetzer misses the first shot. 51 is immediate to react, but he's probably just going to get chased down. But he does find the ridge line. Hetzer, of course, cannot really push as he leaves himself vulnerable. Second Hetzer now moving wide to try and find angle that direction. Looking increasingly rough. Here is the remaining SP buy from Sky. That's right. Could be a nice pickup if he finds the shot, but he is too distracted by the Hetzers. This is a T-34-85. Does land a track shot on the Hetzer. At this point, he should be moving this forward. Throw a wall of smoke right here and rush forward. This other Hetzer try and pick off this one. He's overly angled in this case. If the Hetzer does get a shot off, he will kill him. Surprised the Hetzer's not returning fire. I'm not sure if he's being stun locked. What exactly is going on? 85, of course, struggles with the Hetzer at max range. Does land a penetrating shot, though. So still trying to pick off this T-34. It really should be rotating this forward. Even if the risk is there of getting Panzerfaust, and that's the reason why eventually he will land that shot. Sky now at 63-39 for a score. Looking at massively in Obival's favor. Has completely broken the gun on his Jagdpanzer, so it's just an MG fortification now, but still being distracted by it. Needs to be aiming for the lower plate. He wants to try and kill it. However, it's getting increasingly and increasingly grim here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Has smoked off at Etzker. Everyone has managed to recap this flag back by the looks of it. So we'll see. This one guy has more capping power than most two. So he'll need to move more guys in, fear less. Although I imagine the grenade micro is coming, and there it is. Let's lock that down. AA truck trying to do some work. There's no tanks currently, although it looks he's coming. We'll kill both of these off. Again, these tanks just not being put to work at risk of losing them. As such, has been a price paid. 2-1 now floating 1,000 MP. Not sure what counter he is looking for. More TW485? I mean, that's an option. Don't know if he's just given up or what exactly. Does track the Lux. TW485 does finally finish off the one hetzer. Push is likely not going to accomplish much. TW485 pulls back, running out of normal AP rounds. That is the downside of the TW485, but it's a short ammo load. We've got now well over halfway to winning. Really needs to get back into this. Really, 234-85 sequence buy would not be a bad call. Losing units like these willy-nilly is not, however, good. Picks up T-34-85 sequence buy and then probably goes with the BA-64. Would be my guess. Although a flame tank would work as well. Probably go with the flame T-34. Along with those T-34-85s, let's use the remaining infantry just for spotting, pretty much. T-34-85 clears out the rear units, but that's not what we're seeing here. Val has now captured the rear point of 321s. 96 out of 150. Again, T-34-85 being forgotten about at this point, not having any game impact. Well, the Hetzer locks down this flank. 321 is going to forfeit this round. So, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next round, and we'll catch you guys here in a minute. I'll be back shortly.
With the coming of spring, 1944, the winter stalemate in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. In the Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands. We landed large forces at Hollandia and Itape on the north coast of New Guinea. General Stilwell and his troops were fighting the Japanese in Burma. Was global warfare on a scale never known before. Less than 3 years before, Hitler had addressed the Reichstag.
Germany, Italy, and Japan will wage common war upon the United States to a victorious conclusion.
In Rome, his fascist partner had declared,
Fascist Italy and National Socialist Germany, ever closely linked, participate from today on the side of heroic Japan against the United States.
A Japanese militarist joined the derisive chorus.
Americans have radios, automobiles, big beefsteaks. When a people has those things, they don't want to fight. Americans won't sleep in hammocks or lie in trenches. They are like a tiger whose stomach is full. They are sleepy.
The American is no soldier.
The American, no soldier. And yet there he was, carrying the fight to the boastful aggressor. The self-acclaimed Superman was learning to his bitter surprise and sorrow the fighting qualities of the American soldier. It seems the aggressors had made a slight miscalculation.
in Italy, our forces pushed on through rain and mud, over mountains, across rivers, toward Rome. Our power drive up the Italian boot forced the enemy to divert 30 of his divisions from France and the Low Countries, weakening his defenses along the English Channel coast, where our invasion of France was soon to come. We now had an army numbering millions of soldiers. We now had 150,000 armored vehicles as compared to the 29 tanks the Army had in 1940. 400,000 artillery pieces were now engaged in the war effort compared to the 235 available in 1940. From a 1940 production capacity of 117 aircraft a month, we were now producing 9,000 planes of all types a month, a plane every 5 minutes, 12 an hour. Here now was an air arm of 150,000 planes supporting the coordinated Allied effort to wipe out enemy industry, supply routes, and communication facilities. The American tiger, grown sleepy on a full stomach, or so the Japanese had thought, was now fully awake, lean, and fighting in the jungles. On the 4th of June, 1944, our Fifth Army captured Rome. It was a military victory, yes, but its psychological effect carried the greater impact throughout the world, for it was the first Axis capital to fall.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have the game 2 of Obi-Val versus Obi-Val versus 321. This time 321 lost, so he got to pick the map he has chosen, got on. Sky has picked the top side, and we're seeing a same matchup with the factions, SS for Obi-Val and Red Army for 321. We will see how this goes. 321 needed a little bit of an intermatch pep talk. He was being a little bit defeatist on top of this dingus deciding that he was going to stay up all night watching the old tournament bits to ready himself, but he's making himself play worse because now he's sleep deprived. So that's a thing. But we have Wobble, the person who had seen in the previous matches. It's going to be back seating him. Tournament players are, of course, allowed to have people give them advice in the background. See assault rifle squad, and then single buys and stern grenadiers and single buys. Pretty common, seeing this very often. I'm still quite curious why they pick this side. They do get to this hill quicker, and this rock is very good at this position. It is a little bit easier to get into this flag than it is to this flag. But otherwise, don't see much advantage. I much prefer being able to get into here, but I suppose if you just give up on this flank, which you would do in the case of this faction setup, makes sense. Val goes for a full center push with his main squad. Second squad for Marvel moving into that northeast corner. Or, sorry, 321. This guy preemptively nading everything over here. Nothing to contest him as of the moment. As he secures 321's back flag in the center. This Grenadier SP guy out from Sky, well as using your CQC. Surprised that grenade killed that man off. And the 2cm out as well. Charge now out as well as a shock SMG for 321. Likely going to be an attempt to clear out that center with the shock SMG. Following up with another assault rifle, also. These two SP buys combined, though, are going to easily shut down the charge. I'm not sure what Sky is pinging there. Probably a location of where to put the 2cm. Or a reminder to rearm it. I'm not sure. Each one has forgotten about half of the shock squad back there in his spawn. That's going to be potentially painful grenade. Not timed correctly. Interesting. We're seeing Lumineers out? I'm not sure what that is about exactly. More string grenadiers out. And looks like we have the anti-tank rifle detachment out. On 321, B64 following in suit. don't see any AT rifles from Sky, although Sky does have the 2cm and a ton of Panzerfaust. Down goes the BA-64, charging directly into a Panzerfaust. BSF Marines moving to try and help secure this northeastern side, but again, that 2cm is still around, finding itself interesting location on the side of this hill. This does expose it more to HE, but I suppose does get a better attack vector, since it does have a very high arc being an AA gun. Das Reich M42 doing Das Reich M42 things. Or really, fleet MGs in general. Each one is able to capture out the center, though he was likely not going to be able to hold that for very long. The SF Marines are able to start making a dent. Centimeter is on the move for some reason. Not sure why he picked it up and then detached it, considering the crew picks off. One with the grenade maker. Keep him off that hill. Do have a Maxim deployed. See how much work that can do, although the one crew did get sniped off, so he's not in a position to be able to actually fire. We're seeing a T-70 on Hal. I'm not sure what he is planning to use that for. I would hope to kill off the 2cm at max range. AT rifle is out for Sky at this point. LaSalle Panzer Grenadiers out, even more elite infantry for Sky. That will give him a Panzerschreck, which could be definitely something important then. PTRS trying to find a kill on this half-track, finds it, although only all damages it. PTRD does get picked off. Certainly looking to try and kill off another one of the half-tracks. 2cm is likely not spotted. He really has no idea where that is. Could be useful to bring an officer up to spot as long as he loses it. Officers are now unlocked. Now the other side having any not be unlocked. He's the first officer out from 321. And the first out from Sky as well. T70 is now probably within the danger range of 2 centimeter, if he can find the angle. Of course, T70 can of course find very good hull down positions. Whereas KD is slightly in Obi-Val's favor. T7 or the 270 has definitely been seen at this point. If he finds a hull down position, that turret should be immune to the 2 centimeter unless he gets very close. Somewhere like here would be perfect to take out the 2 centimeter. Seems to be where he is looking for that shot. And a direct HE shot, but HE is probably not going to be able to break it. Does decrew it though. At this point, probably should send a BA-64 up to help in clearing, and we could steal the 2 centimeter. Big. 2 centimeter does get rearmed though. 270 immediately spots it. Will it engage though? We are seeing the BA-64. So he'll need to decrew the 2 centimeter again. Probably wants to pull down and lay this guy back, get him rearmed. He's the one that died from the 2 centimeter. Sky should really have a AT rifle up in here somewhere to get the side shots onto this. Does decrew the 2 centimeter again, breaks the gun. Let's see if the BA-64 can run in it and pick it up without dying to a Panzerfaust. All he'll need to do is connect to it. This, however, has all bought Sky a lot of time, being able to hold the flag advantage. Sky now has all 5 officers to 3-2-1-1. This BA-64 should have went and stole the A gun. He's now trying to smoke it off, which will give him even more cover from the Panzerfaust. Again, take the BA-64 and tow it out. That's all you need to be doing. He's now capturing this flag. AT rifle is moving in now. He'll likely find a shot, although he is in the low ground now. He targets the AT rifle, he'll be in a good shape, but already takes a penetrating hit to begin with. And is finished off with the next BA-64 to moderate effectiveness. Centimeter has been moved back slightly to try and repair it in the smoke, I think. Black does go to 3-2-1 though, so we'll finally start taking at points on his end. Now at 3 officers for 3-2-1. more Storm Grenadiers out for Sky, as per usual. And actually, a squad finally being sent over to the southwest and trying to reinforce that, maybe? Or potentially going for the middle again. We will see. I would like to see a KV-2 out on a map like this. Panzer IIIN now out for Sky for a similar reason, trying to make use of the indirect direct. Looks like he had put in a veteran commander in it as well to try to get that accuracy boost. I assume he was probably just going to try and look for a shot on that Panzer or that T-70 initially. He's now recapturing that flag as well. A wall of smoke. More BSF Marines flooding on in. Down goes Z-70 to the Panzer IIIN, as I expected. We'll see what use he makes out of it now. B-64 in middle, not engaged. This Maxim was moved, but was not moved to a useful location, interestingly enough. Now seeing a T-34-85 counter by out now. Although he will very much struggle to find a good position to engage that Panzer III from. Quite honestly, I probably would have rather liked to see the normal Panzer III, or like I said, a KV-2, or sorry, a regular T-34, or like I said, a KV-2. KV-2 being pretty much exactly the same price as the T-34-85. Well, a little bit more expensive, I think, but able to actually somewhat engage over hills. And the Panzer IIIN is not capable of really killing it. Can, but it would have to get lucky. Whereas the T-34-85 has to find a very much direct line of sight. This veteran sharpshooter has been going ham. He is now up to 6 kills. Make that 7. BA-64 being pushed forward, likely into its death of the PZB. Does go down. Maxim moved in position way too late to try and support that. PZB trying to snipe the Maxim. Break it. So that is quite likely a losing fight. Down he goes. T-34-85 has not made any impact whatsoever so far. He could find a shot if he had moved up to here. We are seeing the big Chungus KV-2. This is a perfect pincer. As long as he keeps the T-34-85 outside of the range of the outside of the range of the Panzer III, and moves this KV-2 into position up here, we'll be able to engage it. He does have to worry a little bit about Panzerfaust. Panzerfaust 60 and Panzerfaust 100 especially. Now he just needs to find the angle. Well, he's trying to find it there. It's not much of one, as he has already realized. Get your CQC and Storm Grenadiers out. Again, this KV-2, it needs to be over this way. Let's find that shot. Would be my guess. Panzerfaust is now moving forward. It is Panzerfaust 100 from the Das Reich. We'll be able to engage it from right at the crest of this hill. Here it comes. Grenade micro is inbound though. Lands a hit. It's not pen though. Hits the front of the KV-2. He's now effectively scared 321 on off. Sky did not repair that 2 centimeter as of yet. 321 has now been able to get into this point and start capturing it back again. So there are plenty of SS infantry around to change that case. Another attempt with a Panzerfaust 60 this time. He's definitely not going to be able to get within range of that with all these infantry here. This KV-2 needs to be risking it for the biscuit, and he needs to have more infantry coverage in here. Edge 3N is able to make itself felt. We're now seeing the Flame T-34 is now out very late into the game with a shock SMG squad. Guessing he's going to try and clear out middle. That was the obvious choice. He needs to take these riders on off. There he goes. It's our valuable Panzerfaust. Probably take them half over here, a couple over here, a couple over there. But as long as he keeps a perpetual wall of fire and good infantry support, we should be able to clear this out pretty well. It's not a wall of fire that he needs. Panzerfaust 100 is going to get him. Only hits the track. Is unfortunate. Second one, not sure what he hit, but it wasn't the body. I can already feel Sky raging. Another Panzerfaust hits the front of the T-34. Doesn't kill it. I'm not sure again once what he hit. Let me see if I can take a look here and figure it out, because I know that Sky will be raging. Not entirely sure. My guess is it probably hit something as part of the turret or a track as well. Sky will be raging, I am sure of that. I've not said that more than enough times now. Again, these Flame T-34s need to be making a wall of fire to keep more Panzerfaust from approaching. Penta 3N does land a shot on one of the T-34 flames, and the other one is tracked and not being repaired. That order needs to be issued. Now that he's cleared out the infantry, this KV-2 should be here and engaging the Penta 3, and he's not. Big mistake. The Grenadier is here, be able to do some damage. Like looks like he's going for the T-34. Overshoots. KV-2 hits a tree. That is unfortunate. He's taking those shots from standing, so it's going to be very hard to hit those shots. Does get taken out by a grenade. 51 is holding it at a 4-3. Again, this KV-2 needs to be put to more use. Push it forward, kill off the Panzer IIIN, causing you so much heartache. Finally, the repair order goes in for that Panzer III, but it's way too late. Stupa now in as well. Again, the Stupa, while having a better arc, is outranged by the KV-2. Stupa, of course, is also very expensive. Flamethrower dashing forward. Does pick off one guy before immediately getting domed. JRS accidentally put part of the squad here pushing forward. That was a mistake. There's a sniper. Would love to pick him off. Brumbar is now been made aware of, though he's not going to be able to push up here without getting a risky shot from the Panzer III. He is going to engage the Brumbar. It needs to be down here, or he needs to engage the Panzer III with something. T-34, yes. The Panzer, or the Brumbar, should be warded off with the KV-2 down here, while the T-34-85 pushes up here. He does manage to land a tracking shot with the AT rifle. That could be potentially big. Brumbar is well out of range. Lands a shell short, does not hit the Panzer III. He misses with the next shot. Brumbar still not moving in. Brumbar not done yet, though. Sky is floating a ton of MP. Brumbar is now moving to look for the kill. Not sure what that Panzer III is firing at. I assume that's anti-tank rifleman. Needs to be made aware of what's going on. The Brumbar is within range and looking for the shot. Oh, hits a tree in front of him, does not land the hit. Jungle warfare being made apparent is the downside of super quick firing HE. There is no time or real contact delay on that. Now it will be the KV-2's turn to try and find a shot onto the Brumbar. 321 is more than content in keeping it like this at 4-3. KV-2 does not find a shot. Brumbar now moving to engage again. 2-1 needs to be careful. Brumbar, again, hits the hill in front of him. It is a hell of an arc he is trying to make. I imagine the KV-2 probably does not even have a shot in a situation like this. T-34-85 looking for a side shot on the Brumbar. Will he find it? He does have fairly good secure over here. Will he find that shot? He is looking so hard. No, he does not. Honestly, you probably just drive up onto the hill here. Guy looks like He's only adjusting slightly. Now he's realizing the danger. Maybe not. He's just trying to position himself behind the hill more. This T-3485 needs to be pulled back. It is somewhat within range of Panzerfaust. Would not take very much to forget and get pushed through here. Lumbar is being pushed up over the hill looking for a shot on that KV-2, although I'm sure he's out of range now. But maybe not. Maybe he is not. That is a hell of an arc to swing. Really, he should be trying to engage this T-3485 currently. T-3485, not sure what he's looking for. Potentially that side shot still. Oh, he's moving forward. He does not realize the danger of the T-3485. Oh, he hits the front. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's so unfortunate. T-3485 misses again. Now he needs to back off. Now the KV-2 can be pushed up and try to at least distract the Brumbar. Really, you should be sneaking a couple of guys up in here to capture that point as well. They are being used to ensure the clarity of that middle point. Would like to see a mortar out from 321. Mortar or another KV-2. The KV-2 from this angle would definitely be able to land a hit. Really, I think the T-3485 could hit if he had angled up. Paradrop onto the KV-2, that is bold. KV-2 will not be able to really defend itself. Shock SMG out, but is not going to have the coverage. KV-2 does have the rear machine gun. One Panzerfaust here. Of course, the Werf Mines does get with the Werf Mines, kills off the Panther, the entire airborne squad though, so it is a positive trade. But really, I mean, he just buys another KV-2, big whoop. In fact, I feel like he probably doesn't. Oh, he does buy another KV-2. Really should stop wasting these Sturmovix with the Panzerfaust. Stupa is now looking to do damage that its direct threat is removed. I'm not sure what one it is looking to find though. Probably these guys up on the standard exit or the Maxim. Sky, in anticipation with the counter paragraph, has pre-positioned the Sturm Grenadiers around some of his officers, as well as this squad of Gebirgsjäger. That does take up a lot of CP though. Bar lands a fairly ineffectual hit, does take out a couple of guys. Panzer 3 is still alive, could be repaired in that track. More shock SMG out. That was interesting timing on Sky's part, but I had mentioned that and then immediately does it after all that time. Does land the hit on Panzer 3, does not kill it though. That is surprising. Oh, it does burn out. Ammunition fire, that leaves only the Brumbar on Sky's side. He is now pinging the middle. don't know if he thought he spotted the flamethrower or what. The T-34-85 is not going to be able to kill that Brumbar, although he's maybe trying to find a track. I would not be risking this. Brumbar will be repaired shortly. He does have a small chance of spalling him, but it's not great. Brumbar misses. Not sure what he had hit, but it wasn't the T-34. T-34 does take out the Stupa with a penetration. That increased height from the hill must have been enough to pen through the front. Oh no, he actually, I think he hit the top armor plate. Yeah, it looks like he hit the top. I will go ahead and message him. So yeah, that was a lucky shot. Tiger veteran now in with an elite commander. Or no, he's swapping the crew around. That's what he's doing. He wasn't buying elite commanders. He just wanted the commander not to get shot out of the SMG or out of the MG slot. There's another flame T-34 in. Should be using this to create a wall of fire. T-34 is going to create issues though. As far as KD, we haven't checked on that in a while. It's been a little bit action-packed. We're actually pretty even, but Ovival is still on up in the score. Tiger is going to immediately make itself felt, though. It's a bad mistake there in 221's part. He is going to eat the shell. He needs to be moving over this way. Oh, he's showing his side. With heat, he could have penned that side, possibly. Looks like he's trying to take a shot at KV2 instead, though. KV2 should be used to help and try and clear out flanks, just ground fire it somewhere. Not really any good angles to engage the Tiger from. Does put an HE and crew injured to this Tiger. Amusingly enough, I'm surprised he can hit it from there with that. What is he doing? Oh, he moved forward for no reason and died. And as a result, a little lucky hit there. Definitely would have liked to see that T-34 stay alive. Or, at the very least, done more damage anywhere else. There's no way he has a shot on that KV2, I don't think. Maybe he does. That takes a BA-64 on out. Not sure where that was exactly. Back here. There is a tank that is repairable here. Is that the BA-64? Must be. Didn't full kill it somehow. Sky trying to get every last DOS strike he can, switching out the crews of the half-tracks for Cannoneers. This is what I had suggested earlier, but it is too late to have much of an effect. It does rip the wheel off of the BA-64. Tiger looking for a shot on something. T-rifles being brought up in response. Sky continuing to overreact and committing Panzerfaust to the BA-64 that's having no impact. Again, complete waste. Sky tends to get overly set onto things and commit too much resources to it. Tiger is now backing up for some reason. Maxim's out on the field. I think the VA-64 just ate an 88 heat. Let's finish off with the next one though. That's one we hope. Oh, don't lose the flamethrower. It's positioned him right in the line of all these snipers. It's painful to watch. Bunch of smoke being put out by what I can only assume is Sky, so he's going to try to get into the side of this objective. This Maxim is in very large amounts of danger. EV2 finally being used. Does go down to the Tiger though. I am surprised he managed to thread a shot on that. EV2 should not have been put within risk of that Tiger, ever. It was his only infantry deterrent. Should have been kept way back here somewhere. Used to engage on the flanks. 284 is being used to help clear out the flank now. There is now a concentrated effort towards recapturing this middle. AC support used to help clear out the infantry as well. Sky clears out the machine guns, preventing him from getting into the middle. Fire trade still works out for 321 in this scenario. It's now looking at 108 to 150. AT rifle now moving to engage the BA-64. BA-64 needs to work quick before it finds its end. Infantry is capturing. BA-64 should just run away now, knowing that the AT rifle is coming in. Now has almost certainly spotted him. And takes penetration. Now he has to try and hold that very exposed point. It's a lot of Beer Jaeger and the remnants of Grenadiers and Bus Strike squads. Also give Beer Jaeger. Also a movement to try and take the middle as well. Maxim is almost certainly going to eat a Tiger round momentarily. Looks like he will get the middle. Not taking the middle as of yet, though. 321 is able to just scrounge it out and hold on to it. This Tiger is making himself a little bit vulnerable. This T-3045 could be sneaking up on him. In fact, I'd almost like to see this too. This guy is very carefully managing his CP, trying to get the most out of it. Grenadier is now being moved over to that flank as well now. Tiger is looking for a shot on 234-85. I don't think he's going to find one though. Not without really risking himself. Sky is now taking the middle, however. 321 is only 25 points away from winning. Maxim is also making himself exposed. He's almost certainly going to get a Tiger round. Just a memento. Does kill off one of the crew, does not kill the machine gun though. There goes the machine gun. Warren Gebirgsjäger now out. A couple of BSF Marines and the T-34 really just hold on to this point against the onslaught. Sky micros that you can easily take that as well. Well, it looks like 321 is recapturing the middle, at least temporarily. I doubt that will continue to hold. Smokes are now inbound from Obial. So that may just end up making his issue worse. One only needs to move a couple of guys into that point. Flamethrower now in the center. That's exactly what 321 needs. And he is putting the direct control onto it. This guy gets a grenade off, but I don't think it's going to be close enough to kill him. No, it's not. It does pick up a few of the Sturmovix, though. One needs to move a couple of guys just into the flag. That's all he needs to do. Well, he could simply wait for the smoke to run out as well. We're down to the absolute wire at this point. This guy down to just 297 MP and is sitting way over his CP cap. He is trying to get in it before he loses it. Flamethrower picking up more kills in the center. 234 not able to kill him off, or Tiger not able to kill him off, does take out the entire squad of Gebirgsjäger except for one man. T21 does recapture that point after the smoke runs out, and the onslaught of BSF machine gunners makes himself apparent. This Tiger really should have been rotating around over to the northeast end. It had no right being here. It's not really doing anything anymore besides holding off the T-3485. Now recapturing that. Lost one of the BSF machine gunners. Likely to a sniper would be my guess. And it looks like 321 is going to win this game. He's only 5 points from winning, and Sky needs to decap 2 points. Second flamethrower now on in. Before picking off some gears here. Sky looking to take off one of the rear points. All it's going to take is a grenade over here to kill off that entire squad. Which one is going for it? Here comes the grenades. Down go 3. And 321 walks away for this game win. We'll be back momentarily to catch you guys for the third game. And I hope you guys enjoyed so far.
With the coming of spring, 1944, the winter stalemate in Italy was broken. Our forces slowly resumed fighting their way up the west coast of the Italian boot toward Rome against bitter German opposition. The British advanced up the east coast in the face of equally bitter opposition. In the Pacific, troops of the 1st Cavalry Division landed on Los Negros and Manus Islands in the Admiralty Group to wipe out all Japanese resistance and complete occupation of the entire group of islands. We landed large forces at Hollandia and Itape on the north coast of New Guinea. General Stilwell and his troops were fighting the Japanese in Burma. This was global warfare on a scale never known before. Less than 3 years before, Hitler had addressed the Reichstag.
Germany, Italy, and Japan will wage common war upon the United States to a victorious conclusion.
In Rome, his fascist partner had declared,
Fascist Italy and National Socialist Germany, ever closely linked, participate from today on the side of heroic Japan against the United States.
A Japanese militarist joined the derisive chorus.
Americans have radios, automobiles, big beefsteaks. When a people has those things, they don't want to fight. Americans won't sleep in hammocks or lie in trenches. They are like a tiger whose stomach is full. They are sleepy.
The American is no soldier.
The American, no soldier. And yet there he was, carrying the fight to the boastful aggressor. The self-acclaimed Superman was learning to his bitter surprise and sorrow the fighting qualities of the American soldier. It seems the aggressors had made a slight miscalculation.
In Italy, our forces pushed on through rain and mud, over mountains, across rivers, toward Rome. Our power drive up the Italian boot forced the enemy to divert 30 of his divisions from France and the Low Countries, weakening his defenses along the English Channel coast, where our invasion of France was soon to come. We now had an army numbering millions of soldiers. We now had 150,000 armored vehicles as compared to the 29 tanks the Army had in 1940. 400,000 artillery pieces were now engaged in the war effort compared to the 235 available in 1940. From a 1940 production capacity of 117 aircraft a month, we were now producing 9,000 planes of all types a month, a plane every 5 minutes, 12 an hour. Here now was an air arm of 150,000 planes supporting the coordinated Allied effort to wipe out enemy industry, supply routes, and communication facilities. The American tiger, grown sleepy on a full stomach, or so the Japanese had thought, was now fully awake, lean, and fighting in the jungles. On the 4th of June, 1944, our Fifth Army captured Rome. It was a military victory, yes, but its psychological effect carried the greater impact throughout the world, for it was the first Axis capital to fall into our hands, bringing consternation and foreboding to the enemy, and fresh heart and rejoicing to the free world and its fighting forces. In England, after months of planning and preparation, it was D-Day -2. General Eisenhower was about to unleash the most massive amphibious invasion in history.
During the big build-up, England had become a vast staging area for troops and the materiel of war. Thousands of vehicles and ready-to-be assembled combat-type aircraft. 20,000 railroad cars and 1,000 locomotives. 20 million square feet of covered storage and shop space. 44 million square feet of open storage space to hold the growing volume of supplies, wire, tires, bombs, shells, and other explosive devices. Awaiting invasion port embarkation were thousands of trucks and support vehicles, row upon row of tanks, and a wide range of artillery weapons. 170 miles of new railroad had been constructed to haul more than 2 million tons of supplies and combat hardware to the invasion ports. The United States Army had constructed 163 airfields in England for the Allied planes that were systematically bombing Germany day and night. The invasion directive issued by the combined chiefs of staff was concise. General Eisenhower had his orders.
You will enter the continent of Europe and, in conjunction with the other Allied nations, undertake operations aimed at the heart of Germany and the destruction of her armed forces.
Another American general was to have a central role in complying with that monumental order. General Omar N. Bradley, field commander of American forces. D-Day -1. Invasion forces began embarking in England. Destination, Normandy. Involved in this massive amphibious invasion were some 3 million soldiers, sailors, and airmen. 4,000 ships and boats. 20,000 vehicles of all types, and an endless list of combat support weapons.
Alright guys, just to go ahead and let you know, after some discussion that had gone on in the background, likely case, it is going to be a little bit of time, and we'll have to reschedule the third game of the match for another day. 3-2-1 is quite tired. He was quite sleep-deprived going into this, and he was a champ for not rescheduling to begin with. But after those strenuous games, especially the latter one running quite long and very contentious, he needs some more energy to be able to give a good match and a good showing. So we will go ahead and catch you guys in a few days for the finishing game of that set. So you guys have a good one. Bye.
Divisions, with over 2 million pounds of combat equipment and supplies, were airlifted to carefully selected drop zones behind the invasion beaches, where they were dropped to secure key road junctions and other strategic terrain objectives. The invasion armada, the largest ever assembled, was now in position off the coast of France. While our assault forces prepared for H-hour, Allied naval power began their concentrated shore bombardment. was amphibious warfare on a scale that staggered the imagination. Nothing like it had ever been seen. Omaha Beach, in the first assault, 30,000 American troops stormed ashore.